The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.
Welcome back to the Bite by Bite. He is Michael Coleman, Heart of Alabama Food Bank, the CEO down there in a beautiful Montgomery, Alabama. 35 counties they cover in the great state of Alabama. And how many counties we got? It's 68, 60.
We got 67 in Alabama.
67. So I used to, did we lose one? I thought there were 68. I thought there was a 68.
No, I think we've always had 67, at least as long as I can remember.
Okay. 67 counties. Anyway, they cover the majority of them, and they do a fantastic job. You have a lot of interesting parts of, I think people look at your organization, they go, okay, we raise money and we raise food and we feed people and you know, nuts and bolts, that's what you do. But there are so many different things that you have to deal with and work with. And we've learned a lot of that, certainly on Mission Minded and on Bite by Bite, but one of those being government affairs. And I know that's just to get through the red tape, just through our government. Yeah, we have a great government. We have a great country. Go live somewhere else and tell me how it goes. But we do have our problems. But just talk a little bit about the government affairs. I know you had to hire someone to actually take over this position. What exactly do they do?
We created this, and if you think about it, so the 12. So we are responsible to Feeding America for the 35 and have some help with some smaller food banks that help us do that. So, but we serve 12 counties directly out of our facility here in Montgomery. If you think about every county, they're going to have a county commission of 5 individuals, and that really support everything across the county, even including the major cities. But and most towns now have a city council or town council or whatever. And the truth of the matter is, those are the people who make decisions for the community. They are oftentimes some of the most influential. They're the ones that control the purse strings and how tax dollars are going to be spent. And lots of times these are people who I've talked about are middle-class people who really don't even understand inside of their own counties what the need is. I mean, you talk to everybody, they're going to say, there's some, this is a poor part of the county, or this is a poor part of the town, or whatever. And they know that they know that, people go to a food bank, but they really don't oftentimes understand that anywhere from 15 to 20% of their county is getting support from a food bank or SNAP or both. And so a lot of the times you're like, okay, we need support. One of the things I've told county commissioners is, listen, you're their elected officials, and these are your people that are going hungry. We have the means to help them. We want to help them. But why should it be my responsibility to pay for your citizens? Mm-hmm. And so all we're asking is we'll tell, and it can be take a small county, and you're like, okay, so you have 1,500 food insecure people, and we're supplying hundreds of thousands of pounds of food to your community. And one of the things I try to help educate them is think about for a second. I'll take the city of Montgomery. City of Montgomery, we do 4 million meals a year, over 4 million meals just for the city of Montgomery.
That's wild.
Right? So now think about this for a second. All of a sudden, all that supply of food is gone. All right. So that means the SNAP's not enough. There's people who aren't qualified for SNAP, but may have month-to-month issues or whatever, needing to get through. So what happens if the food banking system is just gone? I try to help them understand mental health crises are going to jump to the roof. People are going to be out stealing for food if they can't get it through any other means. So your crime's going to jump, your police involvement's going to jump, more interactions, negative interactions between police and the public, the administrative cost to that. You're going to have mental health issues. You're going to have learning problems with kids. It's going to just on and on and on. And cities and counties need to understand the ramifications of not supporting the food supply system, because it can overwhelm a city's resources. Now, you take a city like Montgomery, Even though it's a large city, 200 something thousand people inside of the city limits, we still are lacking for a lot of the basic, mental health services and a lot of things like that. You all of a sudden add hundreds or thousands of people that demand those services, and it's a real train wreck. And so what we're trying to say is, listen, we're passionate about helping people who are battling food insecurity. We care about them. We want to help them. We love them. But we have to make decisions. We have a finite amount of food. We have transportation, trucks that have to get there, just all the different costs, storage. Our electric bill alone is $300,000 a year because of the number of freezers and things like that. And so that money has to come from somewhere. We don't get near enough from the USDA, although I'm thankful for whatever the USDA supplies us. But a lot of that has to come from donations. It has to come from grants, and part of the donations needs to come from city officials. And thankfully, more and more are listening to that. They've gotten on board with us. Now, they've not necessarily gotten on board with huge sums of money, but they're becoming more aware of those issues. And the more they get educated and the more stories they hear. So it's a process. Mm-hmm. So we're bringing in somebody to say, look, every state has 2 senators. Every state, we have different House of Representatives over our 35 counties that we want to bring them and educate them. Then you have state House and you have state Senate representatives. And of course, we're right here in Montgomery where the capital is, and they all come here at different times. And then you have our own county commissions in the 12 counties that we serve directly, the city councils, all of them, just mayors of towns that don't have. So you see why we need every official to understand what's going on, what the issue is in their town and their challenges, and we want them to come along in a real way and help us be a part of, because we're like, look, we're doing the heavy lifting. Mm-hmm. We're going to get the food, we're going to get the food delivered, we're going to get the food distributed. Our network is going to handle that, but we just need your help. We need your support, and thankfully, most are responding favorably. Some are a little bit slower. Some are still overcoming some beliefs like, well, if you don't have enough to eat, that's your fault. You must be lazy. You must be whatever. You must just want the government to take care of you, whatever it is. There's a little bit of that still, but not near to the level it used to be. So the more education, the more facts, the more data that gets put in front of them, the more that they're coming along and helping with that. And I'm very encouraged by that. But it's just one more aspect that we have to have somebody paying them full time to stay in the faces of all these. It's not truly lobbying, but in one way it is. They've got to get the information. So we're getting it in front of them and saying, hey, just come help us feed your community.
Michael, tell people how they can get in touch with you, how they can help you out directly.
Yeah, I'd love for them to go to hafb.org. That's heartofalabamafoodbank.org. And if you're local and you want to volunteer, or if you want more information, you can reach out to me directly. If you have some extra cash and you're like, hey, I want to make a difference in somebody's life, we'd love for people to
there you go.
Us. You can even set up easily on a monthly donation. $10 a month will provide 50 meals that month. So yeah, just any amount is appreciated and helpful.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio.